Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Davis here. You're watching Conversations in Pop Culture, and we are back to the basics. And before I introduce my guest, I do want to remind everybody that this episode is brought to you by my friends over at Pocketjack Comics, who have books like Palace of the Golden Princess and White Lily, and they are currently being distributed through Filbo Distribution. So go check out their books there. You know, Preston's coming on in 3 hours to talk about his movie. So you can tune in at 10 o'clock for that, everybody. And I will be reading the ad with him live. So hopefully he won't criticize my ad read. But enough of that, because I have with me entrepreneur and somebody who's been in the business sense and the business world for a very long time, Rob Kligman, or Kligman. I'm not sure if I got your name right. If I didn't get it, I'm sorry. But there's a lot of stuff you got going on. And you right now have a very cool card project app website, which is Collectible Lane, which we're going to get into. But I figured I'd allow you to introduce who you are, because you have a very, very interesting career.
Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it. It's great to be live with you on this. I've watched it before, and the opportunity to be invited to something like this means a lot to me, and it means that we're being recognized.
You're doing me a favor. You're doing me a favor. So I should be thanking you. I'll take the compliment.
I'm excited to hear the comments. I want the community to talk about it. So this is for both of us. But my background is, as you said, pretty diverse and interesting. I've been in advertising and marketing, business development for about 30 years now at really cool companies, from Sports Illustrated to WWE to MTV to Men's Health, USA Today Sports. And I've always sort of gravitated to really good content and tried to be around where fans want to be. And WWE is probably a great example of being in that area and having something that experiential, events, social, digital, talent, it all kind of rolled up in one. And I've been in a lot of different places, but every one of them had a great story to tell.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, WrestleMania is happening this Saturday for everybody who's a wrestling fan. Me and a friend of mine tomorrow night are going to be talking about WrestleMania a lot and some other stuff. And I'm probably going to be hammered doing it. So it's going to be very interesting. We're just a Pat McAfee away. I can't help it.
I told people just tune in on Saturdays, not Sundays. So we'll see what that's all about.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely wonderful. But anyway, I digress. That is the only joke I'm going to make regarding WWE this whole stream, hopefully. I will try, everybody. But obviously, I mean, I don't want to dive too much into your career, but I really want to talk about this whole new project and app and website, which is Collectible Lane, because I'm a huge card guy. I'm a huge collector. And this is something that is completely different where, and feel free to tell me if I'm wrong here, but I don't think it's a competitor to eBay. And I don't think it's a competitor to PSA. I don't think it's a competitor to CGC. I mean, Beckett, we don't know where Beckett's going to wind up in the next year or two with everything that's going on, the fact that PSA bought them. But I don't think this is a competitor to them, but it's I guess, companion to some degree, or it's another option. But why don't you kind of explain what it is before we get into it? Because I got questions. I kind of like where it's going. It's AI-esque, might be a good way to put it. So there's a lot of stuff I'm throwing at you, but you know your company better than I do. So
yeah, you framed it really well. We're just a companion. And the rationale behind what I started was I am a collector, and I will put my products on 3 or 4 different platforms. I'm platform agnostic. So I wanted to be a companion, as you mentioned, to eBay, Mercari, to whatnot. Doesn't matter where you are. Look at me, and if I can do the things that are necessary to sell your products, that's the most important thing to me. So I figured I could be a companion to all of them, work as a partner for PSA, CGC, and Beckett and others, and truly try to flip the model of what a marketplace is all about. So the rationale, again, behind what I wanted to create was I wanted it to be better for the collector. And what I started to see was prices started to get inflated. Why did they get inflated? Not because of the seller. It was because of the seller fees. So I wanted to flip the model on its side and have an opportunity for the seller to list it realistically and then give a buyer a chance to actually purchase it at a very good price. So I'm excited to have built this. I'm a big storyteller throughout my entire career, and that's how I was successful in selling advertising for Coca-Cola and Snickers and other great companies. And in this case, I'm taking the stories now of what the collectibles mean and the hidden secrets behind those and bringing them to life, taking a static listing and bringing it to life through storytelling, which we'll talk more about as we get further along about Behind the Lane, which is the sister branded entertainment arm to Collectible Lane that tells the stories.
So I want to get into this a little bit because obviously, I mean, it is a selling platform, and I think it's 5% that is paid. And so obviously, when we look at eBay, we look at Whatnot. I think Whatnot is 11%. I think eBay is 13. I don't know what PSA, if you're selling off a PSA, what they charge. Obviously, consignments can be very complicated as the higher you go up. If you consign your cards out, and then there's fees, and we're just going to call it what it is. You go to a card show and you're unloading your cards. You're paying a fee. It's called the table fee, is what you're paying, and it could be anywhere from $100 a table, or you could be paying $4,000 for a table, depending on what card show you're at and how many people are going there. So you're paying a fee no matter which way you go. And then, well, Uncle Sam takes his cut at it as well. But I don't think we get around that issue yet. But so what is that like? Because I do think if you have less fees, I think it can do two things. I think it could lower pricing, but I also think it can also create more profit for a seller, right? Because when eBay is taking 13% and you sell a card for $100, that's $13 out of my wallet. And that's steep. That is steep. And I love eBay. I sell a lot on eBay, and I like the protections they offer. But because I think that's something that's also really interesting is that because 8% is a big number. So I mean that's one of the things that I think is interesting about this.
Yeah, I studied heritage and I looked at what buyers were paying, and I thought about the model. Do you charge just the buyer? Do you charge just the seller? What is the right thing to do? There's no way you can be free. It's impossible. You can't be a free engine. You're going to break down and you won't be able to fix it.
It's interesting you bring that up, and sorry to interrupt you. In the UK, there are no fees on eBay in the UK, I think.
Interesting.
I don't know how they're sustaining it though, right? I don't know how that's sustainable because I mean, you need fees, but I agree with you though in the principle that you can't, if you don't have any fees, you're gonna have no money and no revenue.
Agreed. Early in my work life, I worked for a fantasy sports company called Sandbox.com, and I learned very quickly when you're a free engine, it's kind of like mowing the lawn for over and over, and eventually the lawnmower is going to break. And we broke down, and we had to eventually go to a premium model where we charged people for our fantasy games, where it's now at. So I learned quickly and early on in my career that there's got to be something. There has to be something to continually enhance. But I also looked at the model where I didn't think it was right to have a buyer pay taxes, a buyer pay a buyer's premium. I just didn't like that model. I wanted them to see exactly what they were getting and just be able to buy it and not all of a sudden see a hidden fee. And I learned that from some of the auction houses that a 25% buyer's premium is a lot of money. I mean, it's not little change. So I wanted to make sure the buyer was safe. I knew the opportunity, if I could really utilize marketing and tell the story and use my marketing to help drive sales for individuals, then, the 5% wasn't really something that people were going to say, you know what, this is way too much. It's actually, if I can give benefits, which is what I'm trying to do with this platform, those benefits are going to help them start to sell more. As an example, one customer just recently, we're working with him on a 1-of-1 card that he has from the Buffalo Bills, and we created a whole storyline of advertisements for him that we're pushing across our platforms. We're also pushing across a variety of other platforms. We're buying against it. So those are the things that I'm trying to give back to our sellers. But at the end of the day, it's all about fees in some way, right? It's fees and security. How can you make sure it's secure? And how can you make sure that I keep the most of my money?
So there's a lot to break down. So again, I mean, I think it's, you said it well, where on eBay, and I'm using eBay as an example, is that I have a lot of protections that are built into eBay. And that's why I use eBay, because when you're selling $1,000 card, I want some protections, right? I think it's understandable. When I'm selling a $7 card, if somebody scams me on $7, it's not worth me even fretting about it. It's like, keep the card, and then I block the buyer, right? So I think because it's just $7 is nothing. And I mean, it's not nothing. If you're hungry and you can't afford anything and you're living on the street, $7 is a lot of money, but not the point is that, but I think it's so interesting, right? Because it's that. But I also think what's interesting is the idea of the storytelling, because I have one-on-ones. So I have several one-on-ones in which I'll pull up a picture of it where, I mean, I sold it a little while ago, but this one right here is a one-on-one Diana Taurasi.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, Yeah, I mean, it's a $300 card. It cost me, I sold it for $1,000 on eBay. But
Amazing.
that's the thing is that, I cried when I got it. I cried
Yeah.
when I got it and I held it. I was, but I wasn't gonna turn down, a 70%, before fees and everything upside on it. But I think the story of that and the meaning of that, and when somebody buys something and they held it for 5 years, because I think that's a different way how to sell. And I think it's becoming interesting because certain cards sell themselves, but other cards need attention. And that's what I think eBay doesn't do. You can't tell a story of what
Nope.
a card means on eBay. And then even doing social media with that is hard. And why this card is significant. What's the history behind it? What does it actually mean? Why is this card something special versus another 101? And even just the history of the card or even who held it or things like that. I mean, I don't know if people really care so much about that, but I do think there is something to be said about all that. And even just history of a card or other things. And so, like, I think it's interesting because it provides a reason to buy it, or at least provides some, I guess, semblance or some anchor point. I don't know the right word here.
There's also a feel of FOMO, right? Maybe you're missing out on it, but I think everybody wants to tell a story as you did when we started this conversation about your collectible. You told me that story immediately when we started to chat. And the idea here is even on a more common card, Sam Vincent, who was a basketball player, had a common card where Jordan ended up wearing a number 12 jersey in that one common card. It's not super rare. There's tens and nines and eights out there. But the story behind it, that this is the only card that Michael Jordan wore the number 12 on, is kind of cool. It's actually affordable too, but it's really cool because you never would have bought a Sam Vincent common card. But now, maybe as a collector trying to get into it now, you may go source that and purchase an 8 for $60. Maybe you'll go to a 10 for $300. And now you've got a really cool story to put on your shelf and talk about when a friend, girlfriend, husband, whatever comes on. And that's what it's all about, right? That's taking a static listing and bringing it to life. How other ways you can do that? There isn't. And this is what I'm trying to bring with Collectible Lane, really tell the story behind these amazing collectibles, whether it be a video game or a trading card.
It's so interesting. I mean, there's another famous card that was a common card, but it's Kobe at a Dodgers game. It's just in the stands, and it's the Dodger player on the card. It's not important. Nobody cares about the Dodger player. I don't know who it is, but it's Kobe is like in the front row or to the side watching the player swing, and it's like a Topps Now card, and it's like a $250 card now.
Yeah.
And raw, which is wild. But
And
it's
there's
the
a lot of
idea.
those. There's a lot of those out there.
So
Right?
it's because it's the story behind it, and so like this is where I think this is so interesting, right? When we get into building, apps and building websites and understanding and finding stuff and understanding why this card means something, the story behind it, but then also even just finding it because I know the Kobe card because I just know because I enjoy watching the Dodgers. But the idea is that, and it came across my desk, but somebody might not know that Kobe card exists. And then they see something like on your platform, or they see something on Instagram, or they see something on Facebook, or they see an ad, or they see something like, wait a second, Kobe was at a Dodgers game, and this is a non-official Kobe Bryant card at a Dodgers game. Like, you now want to have it because you're a Kobe fan.
You just answered the question. That is exactly it. And that's what we're bringing forth. We're telling a story about a collectible and bringing it to the light of collectors. And that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, so many people didn't know about the treasures that lie within trading cards and comic books and video games. And to me, that's the most fun I've had so far. I loved building a platform, and that's been great. But it's the little bits and pieces that I can find out about a video game or a trading card that nobody really maybe knew, or it hasn't been exploited in the way that it should be. And then when I see a comment that somebody says, you know what, I never knew about that, but I'm really interested in the opportunity to buy it now, I kind of sit back and smile because that's exactly what I'm trying to accomplish. And I also, from a sales background, when we talked about my background, how do I lift sales? Well, there's one really easy way to lift sales. Tell the story about a product, get people aware of it, and maybe that fear or FOMO, get them to go buy it.
So to go even further into this, because the other thing that, I mean, obviously we were speaking off air on Instagram as well, and you asked me to go through your website, and I made a suggestion of like categorizing things, which, obviously Disney's getting bigger and bigger in cards. Do you also feel though that, because I'll be honest with eBay, PSA, other websites, even when I go into a card store, the scope is so damn fucking big, right? I mean, you go on eBay, it's not just cards, right? You could buy a car on eBay. I don't know if anybody knew that, but you legitimately can buy like a $50,000 car on eBay if you really want to. And I know people who've done it. And you could go all the way up to expensive cars, but not the point. But it's the idea that when I'm looking for rare stuff or I'm looking for really cool stuff, sometimes you need a narrower focus. And that's the other thing too, because I think you have a very rare One Piece card on your platform right now that's limited to 300. And I don't even know if that card's on eBay. And it could be a pain to look through eBay for cards, finding cards, understanding where they're at, and hunting down stuff. And like there's when you narrowly focus something down just to cards, right? You're eliminating, because I don't think you're going to sell a car on your platform. So all of a sudden, legitimately probably 50 million or more listings systematically get eliminated on your platform, which helps me find the stuff I'm looking for. And I think that's the other thing too that's becoming interesting, is that it is difficult to find stuff right now.
Yep. Yeah, and having an amplification with Behind the Lane, I am hoping that will make this whole process a lot easier. But more than anything, Collectible Lane was built because I wanted to create lanes for people's passions and interests. I didn't want it to be a free-for-all, which is what eBay is. And eBay does everything right in regards to making it mass appeal. And critical mass is big. And they've got everything, like you said, a $50,000 card to a $20 Beanie Baby to a Cabbage Patch Kid to a video game. It doesn't make a difference. I wanted to silo what you were most interested about, and that's how Collectible Lane came about. Now, if you're interested in video games, there's a lane for you that the banners will talk about video games, the content will be about video games, you'll find video games, you'll easily be able to search video games. That's the concept behind it. So I'm looking for a gradable game, gradable opportunity here where fraud is a little bit less, right? Because now we already kind of know that it's authenticated. You can check it very easily on PSA or CGC. That kind of eliminates one issue. The other is it's focused. There's no more free for all. We'll eventually get into that sort of whatnot model. We'll get into auctions. That's phase 2 and phase 3. And we're going to do it, but we're going to do it in a very curated manner. And that's the idea. Curated is a great word for what Collectible Lane is. It's curated lanes about your passion. And we're going to take the technology part of it and the searchable part of it, everything about it, and make it curated and calm and easy.
Because I mean, people hate when I use the word, but some people in the interview space, and I'm comparing it purposely for a reason, is they take everybody. I am extremely selective, and I put up gates. I want to choose my content because I want to make my content make sure it fits correctly. And I also want to make sure, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I don't know if you might not want certain products on your website, right? There are certain cards like Divine Cross that, I mean, the girl's topless in a bunch of those cards, right? And some people love it and some people are totally fine with it. PSA refuses to grade them. So because they don't want that content being graded, because I think they feel it would hurt their brand. And I'm not exactly sure the full reason behind it, but they say we don't touch that and we don't do nudity, right? And so the idea, though, is that when you have curated content, you can say, this fits our narrative, this fits what we want to do. And then it also tells your audience who wants to search for this stuff, hey, we're vetting our content purposely, because I think there's something to be said about that, right? Because there's a lot of fraud in this space right now. There's a lot of problems. And even with grading, I mean, I think every year there's people who purposely make 100 fake cards and they try to get them past PSA for the hell of it. Which it's a game for them, right? And I think it's a good test for PSA, to be honest, because if PSA doesn't catch those 100 that are fake, it's a problem. And even if one of them gets by, it's a real issue. So, I mean, because that's the other thing too, is that when I buy a collectible, right, and I buy a card, there's always a fear if I'm not buying it from Topps or Panini or and buying a Pokemon card that's not in a sealed Pokemon pack, is it legit? There's always that fear. And I buy a lot of PSA cards, and there's still that fear to some degree because things can get past through. And so what is that like for you? Because I think that's a real issue. I feel that is now starting to be spoken about.
Yeah, we're taking that integrity pretty heavily in that way. It's not something to shake your head about and just kind of say, well, we hope it goes well. We built it with a secure processor with Stripe, where we're holding the funds for 3 days. We're making sure that things are what they should be. When there's a big sale going through, we're doing our due diligence to make sure that that card is legit and real, or else we'll pull it right off the platform. We're also looking to make sure, even from the miner standpoint, that if you're listing it under the wrong category, we have admins that are going to move it to a different category. You can't game the system with what we're building, and we're trying to keep it as secure as possible and trying to make it fair for the collectibles and for the people that are looking for the best of the best. And that's kind of where, if you've started to look at where the inventory is building, they're higher end. You talked a little bit about the one piece card. They're starting to be majority, 99.9% of them are graded already, whether it's a video game or so we're starting to get to a little bit of a higher end collector, and that's not a bad thing. But at the same time, those higher end prices, you have to be trustful. So we're doing our due diligence across the entire way. We secured Stripe as an exclusive processor. They have an incredible fraud mechanism that we've put in place and spent extra money to make sure that happens. And they're seeing at checkout, if somebody's got something with a fraud with regards to a credit card, they're denying it automatically. So there's a lot that we've put in place. And even in areas that I've found as a collector of video games, people will try to game the system on a search by putting PSA, CGC, and WADA all on a subject line. Well, that hurts search. I can't have that happen. I don't want to see something that's PSA if I'm looking for a WADA video game or a CGC video game. I'm watching how people are gaming the system. That's going to help them search and get their results up on eBay, but it won't happen on Collectible Lane. So I've been building this from a collector's mindset to make sure that things that annoyed me as a collector do not occur on Collectible Lane.
Let me ask this, because if you, I guess, aim for a higher collector, I mean, what I find, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe I'm going to sound ignorant here, but I find that when I'm dealing with higher collectors, whether it's on eBay, off eBay, Facebook Marketplace, those people tend to be the most educated in this space because they know what they're looking for, right? Nobody goes and looks for a $3,000 one-piece card randomly. I mean, somebody might come across and say, that's an awesome card, right? But the people who are really buying that have a really good idea what it should sell for, what it should look like. Hopefully they have an idea, and everybody can get scammed. Everybody will get scammed at some point in cards. It's just the reality. If you buy 1,000 cards, one of those cards is going to be fake statistically. But ideally, you hope not when you're buying a $3,000 card. But but even still, I mean, they want to still feel safe. I mean, when I'm spending $3,000 on anything, I want to make sure that thing is safe, right? I mean, I just funded an IRA and I transferred, $4,000 into my IRA. And immediately after I transferred, I called up Fidelity and made sure that the transfer was kosher, right? It's $4,000. It's a lot of money. I mean, and they said, the transfer appears on our end, and I felt a lot better, right? But I was nervous about it because it's a lot of money. So but I'm curious how you feel about getting back to the point I'm trying to make, is that because those collectors are educated, but they still want to feel safe, right? And I would imagine if you're a buyer, you also want to feel safe that your money's going to come to you, because if you lose out on $3,000 and it's your one-piece card, that's pretty upsetting if you don't have the card and you don't have the money either, because it's really, really scary when you're dealing with high-end cards.
Yeah, so you have to put those barriers up to make sure that both sides are safe. If not, the platform won't work. And that's something as a collector, you mentioned it. You're going to buy 100, you're going to find a fraudulent card in there somewhere. We're trying to do our best in every specific way. And that includes watching every step of the way and over communicating how that way is working. So we've built some pretty interesting facets inside of the site and app to make sure that every tracking capability is there. We're also sourcing some above and beyond insurance opportunities where you can actually tap into even getting more money on top of what you've sold the platform for, or the collectible for, to ensure that you're going to be okay. But yeah, you can't build this platform and not have it secure for both people. And that's the reason we're not releasing the funds immediately. That's the reason we have Stripe as a fraudulent, looking at the credit card that's being used and making sure that we're tapping it before the sale goes through, and then not releasing it until we're comfortable with the sale.
Again, I find it fascinating, right? Because again, anything, because I'm a strong believer that anything that adds competition, companionship, other opportunities is only good for the industry. I mean, because I mean, we were speaking before that tops, obviously their prices are going up. Panini's prices have gone up. I mean, I just saw, I mean, Panini does Dutch auctions. Tops is now doing Dutch auctions. I mean, I think, oh my God, I don't even want to like that WNBA stuff. Prism first line, I think it started at like 10,000 for a box. I mean, it is wild what is going on with pricing, and that's the other thing too that I think is also getting fascinating. It's like everything is going up in pricing. Collectibles are through the roof with cards. People, want stuff, and even to combat that, and also making it so that people can afford it or at least have a fair shot at it. Because that's the other big thing too that's going on right now with cards is that people feel they don't even have a fair shot to get like a hobby box with certain products from all of these companies. And it's tough because you go into an EQL, and I hate to attack tops. I hate to attack tops because I love tops. But if you go to an EQL and you're in your 9th EQL and you don't win it, it hurts. It hurts after the 9th, 10th, 12th time. And you're willing to spend like $700 for a box, it hurts. So, I mean, that's the other thing too that I think that is interesting is that at least I feel on this platform, there is opportunity to potentially get what you want.
Yeah, that's what we are doing, and that's what our ultimate goal is. It's to make it really easy and clean and segmented. And that opportunity is kind of, we're seeing it. We're seeing it both from the behind the lane standpoint where we actually promote something and it sells. So we've seen that trigger happen, but we've also seen people communicate back to us that the platform is working and it's something that they're enjoying, and the less fees and the communication. We're not big enough yet where we disappear, and I want to be there for everybody whenever possible. That's the way I did it when I was in my advertising customer world, and it worked, right? You don't secure Coca-Cola for WWE unless you have that customer service and you're always on. And that's the feeling I want to bring back. eBay is not always on. It takes time. You don't know who you're going to talk to. Well, we've built a bunch of admins that really work hard, myself as well. I'm there for a conversation. I'm there to explain why this model is going to work for you. So I hope that personal touch resonates with the type of seller and buyer that we're bringing in and continues on.
Because I mean, I have a card, right? And we'll talk about my card because I'm going to pick your brain on it live. So I have, it's not graded, but it's a 101 Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. Both of them scored 40 points in the same game, dual auto by Panini from last year. So they both scored 40 points each in the same game. First time in Boston Celtic history. I'm having a hard time selling that card on eBay.
Yeah.
It's a 101, and I'll tell you what happens. Everybody's offering me like $150 for it. Yep. And I'm like, it's Boston Celtic history. It's a dual auto 101. So, like, your platform might be perfect for the card, even though it's not graded, because the idea is that it almost needs that story component to it. And it's not a fee issue. And this is where when you have cards like that become really interesting, because I am having a hard time finding the right buyer for that card. And this is where I think it becomes really interesting, because I know the card is worth money. And I know the right Boston Celtic fan wants the card, is going to love the card, understands that the card is not anymore just a dual auto of these two players. Because you could find their dual autos. It's a dual auto on the same card. It's a 101, and there's only one of these. Yeah. And so, like, this is where I think this becomes such an interesting platform, and how I would use it in my business, because I'm not willing to leave eBay completely, right? But there are high-end cards that are just not working on eBay for me. And that's where I think this becomes so interesting, because if you're dealing with a high class, somebody's going to want that. And whether they're a Wall Street bro or they just love the Boston Celtics, I don't care as long as they're happy with the card.
Yeah, I think stating the obvious, we don't have the critical mass that eBay has, but we also don't have the clutter that eBay has. And to your point, you're getting lost in the clutter, the noise. Our ability to tell that story and also push it out to specific outlets is what we're going to specialize in. And we're going to help push that into Facebook groups. We're going to help push that into different areas that people are looking for that information. And once you get the affinity of that Boston Celtic fan, all of a sudden it's different than somebody who goes to eBay to search for a card.
It's also that the 19-year-old wants the card and they have no money. It's the wrong demographic is being hit completely in that card with me, and that's the problem, because the 19-year-old has $200, and I'm like, it's not a $200 card. I mean, I don't even know how to value the card appropriately, but it's not a $200 card, and it's not a $20,000 card, but it's at least, I mean, ideally, I'm asking 15 on it on eBay, 1,500, because I don't know how to evaluate it. It's a tough one to evaluate. But that's where I think this becomes so interesting, right? Is that this is where this becomes interesting in my own business, because and how I just want to move the card and I want to sell cards, because it's figuring out that right customer, and that's like the secret sauce to this, in my opinion. And that's why I think this is so interesting, because it's when you have those 101s or those limited 5s, and it's like the cool stuff that you want. But yeah, so I find it fascinating, right? I mean,
points there. I mean, even if you go to the trading cards section on Collectible Lane, that lane, you see the number 1 card is that 1 of 1 for the Buffalo Bills. So that Allen card is number 1 for a reason. We've built a story behind it. We're passing it across distribution units and areas where there's an affinity to the Buffalo Bills, and we're going to eventually sell it. And that's our idea. But I think you mentioned something earlier about not sure you want to leave eBay. I don't want anyone to leave eBay. eBay is eBay. Stay on eBay. Use us as a complementary engine to help sell a product. Dual list it, cross post it. Don't take it from eBay. Let's see if we can sell it for you. And if we do, pull it off of eBay once it's sold. But leave it in both places. We don't need people to leave one to come to the other. We will show you that we will sell your product and we will tell the story better than other places, but there's no reason to leave. There aren't affinities either, I feel, in collectibles world. I don't think it's a brand like Nike where you are die-hard eBay no matter what. If I came to you and told you I can sell your card tomorrow, why wouldn't you try? What do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. I'm not taking your card from you. I'm just going to help promote it and try to get it sold for you. So that's kind of where we play. We talked about it when we started this conversation. We're not a competitor to anybody. I just want to compliment the opportunity for collectors to buy and sell.
I'll ask you this, in which that, so I'm in the comic space a lot, and there are sides, and people hate each other, and it's like you got to pick a team, right? It's Raw versus SmackDown. I know I'm not supposed to tell the WWE jokes anymore. I get it. So it's Survivor Series. You got to pick a team who you're rooting for. But there's also a position in business where if somebody could just get what I want done, I don't have a side. I mean, I just want to make money, right? But I think that we've been so conditioned in humanity that you have to pick a side. You have to have loyalty, and I don't care. I mean, I buy off eBay, I buy off of Amazon, I buy off of Walmart, and I buy from Target. Like, I don't have any loyalty, I mean, to any of these brands, right? I mean, but we've been so conditioned that, like, I think that this all gets all fucked up somehow in our heads. That and there's fear, right? Like, I can't explain that, but like that's why I think this is such an interesting conversation about you saying you should just dual list it, because whoever sells it. What I don't think you care if somebody on eBay buys it and unfortunately they just beat you to the punch. I mean, that's just business, right?
That's great. That is great. And that's the nature of what I've created. I've created something that should hopefully complement every other competitor out there. And they're not even competitors. They're just other engines with a big universe of collectors and sellers and buyers. That's it. It's a huge universe out there. There's not just one place everybody goes, right? I mean, you've seen it, Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, whatnot. There's cards for everybody. And, that's the fun part about what I'm doing. I want to bring that human touch back to what I'm trying to create. I want you to feel and understand that there's people behind this platform. And hopefully that human touch changes people's mindsets to give me one card out of the 1,000 that they have and try it out.
So it's interesting that you bring this up, right? I mean, I don't know how you feel about this. I'm going to get controversial. I hate breaks. I hate breakers. I hate them all. because I've never had a good break. I've done it about 6 times, and they've always been rough. And I feel like it's so corporate, right? And there's, I mean, again, I've heard horrible stories. I've heard inner workings of stuff, and I don't know if it really gives people what they want, right? I get that you could be in a break and you could get something that you couldn't really afford in a break, and I get that side of it, but I feel it's a lot of chase, and I feel like it's not personal, right? Because when I rip open a pack, right, if we were to crack this open right now live, right, and we were going through all my cards and I pull like a 101 or something, you and me are both going to have a very humanistic reaction to it. And when I crack open cards or I pull a sketch card of that Fantastic Four, like there's something about touching something that somebody drew, right?
Yep.
And I think that the industry to some degrees have become corporate and have become straight out business and have become a rush. I don't know how to explain it. And if you don't get the thing, it's like World War III broke and a nuke bomb dropped off. And I think it's supposed to be fun. It was like you go to Texaco on your Friday night with your dad, and at the gas station, you buy a pack of cards for $3 because you complete all your homework for the week when you were a kid, right? Like that's how it's supposed to be, right? Like, and now it's like, I don't know. So like, that's why I think this is so interesting is that you mentioned the human touch, because I think it's forgotten. I think a lot of it is forgotten. And I think it's a real issue for a lot of these card companies. It's like, and I said to Topsons, I said, how the hell does an 8-year-old afford a $40 SpongeBob box?
Yeah.
Pricey. And they didn't have an answer for me. And they still don't, because I don't think an 8-year-old can afford a $40 card box.
No. And if they can, it's disappointing if they don't get what they want in that box. And it's gone a little corporate. I very easily could have kept on my track and found another great brand to go work for. I thought there was an opportunity to disrupt the mechanism of a market and do that in a fashion where people are happy again. I think we talked about WWE throughout this conversation, but when I was there, we put smiles on people's faces. You could see it. I want to bring that touch to the collectibles market again. And that's my goal.
For full disclosure, I have a good amount of shares from WWE, and I bought them at $9 a share. Because I knew immediately what WWE was. I'm going to say the word that everybody's going to kill me for, and people give me shit for it. I said they're Disney.
Yeah.
Disney sells one thing and only one thing: happiness and smiles. Nobody's unhappy at Disney World. Actually, you could be unhappy at Disney World, but ultimately, Disney's objective is to sell you a smile and happiness, and WWE's objective is to sell you happiness. Now, you could be upset that your wrestler lost, but they're trying to sell you a good, happy experience. We all understood that John Cena needed to beat Cody Rhodes last year. I'm sorry that evil John Cena needed to beat Cody Rhodes and the good guy didn't win. But they were still selling us happiness. I'm sorry, everybody. It's just the way it had to go. He needed to get number 17, but not the point here. But like, that's the whole thing, is that I knew what they were selling, right? Yeah. And I think that there's a real problem, because when you rip open a pack of cards, it's a lot of fun. But when you don't get what you want, because you just spend $60 for something, you're like, man, I didn't get $60 worth of my stuff, and this is why I'm almost buying like singles now, because I want to buy what I love, and I'd rather spend, $80 for a PSA 10 of the card I want, knowing I have the PSA 10 of it.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. And my wife and I have gone to the brick and mortar stores and picked up a mystery pack here and there, and we like it and we enjoy it. But at the end of the day, I don't necessarily need the singles. I want that graded card, and I want what I want. So the mystery packs kind of lose their excitement sometimes for me. So I'd rather just, to your point, go buy what I want to buy. And I don't want disappointment. And I think that rush of that gamble is always great. But at this stage where I am, for me, it's going to get that one that I really want and coming home with it.
I mean, I'm even worse. I mean, I'm a PSA Vault guy, and I love my PSA Vault. And on a $20 card, it doesn't mean anything. Yeah. But I just bought a $2,500 card. I didn't pay taxes on it.
Yep.
So I love it. And I don't have to store it. And so if somebody comes and tries to rob my house, which none of you know where I live, thank God, yeah, the cards aren't there. I'm sorry. The
Yeah.
cards aren't there. I'm sorry. That's one of my favorite jokes. But all joking aside, I mean, you know, I'm a PSA Vault guy because at any time I can get the cards from PSA. But why would I want them in my possession when, you know, I could have them shipped to me anytime I want them, or I could just sell them off of them? But it's the idea that I know that I got what I wanted. Like, there's something to be said about that. But like, that's where I think this is so interesting, right? Because you're getting those high end cars that people want, like that one piece limited 300 of a Solo. Like, people want that card, right? It's whether they can afford it or they can't afford it, they still want it, right? And that's a hard card to find, right? I want that card. I know that I can't afford it at the moment. I'll be the first person to say it. Not asking for it. Want to make that crystal clear here, but I want that card. It's an awesome card, right? So like that's where I think this is so interesting, because when you get those one-on-ones or that Buffalo Bills, you know, Josh Allen one-on-one, people want that card.
Yeah, you bet.
And that's what makes it cool too on a social media level, which is the other thing that I think is the secret sauce. Forgetting about even the card side, just to highlight rare cards on social media. I mean, that's a whole nother business model, in which that might be just as lucrative as selling cards.
Yeah, and shortly we'll be implementing that as an option to every seller who comes to the site. Right now, we've got it on a select few, but for that option, if you're interested in it and you want to keep that card forever, you just bought it, we'll still create you a video. And then you've got a great video to go with it, right? To post on your socials and be proud of it and push your chest out and say, this is my card and I can bring that to life. Take it from static to dynamic.
I wasn't even thinking about it like that. I'm just saying that all of a sudden you're making a video and that thing has ad revenue on it while you're promoting it, because people just want to look at it, and you got an awesome like 30-second video clip. I mean, I have shorts that have killed it, right? I've had shorts on TikTok that have done like 20,000 views. So like a minute short has done 20,000 views. And I'm just like, you know, the ad, I mean, it wasn't monetized, but the ad revenue on that could be, you know, like 10, 20 bucks a year easily. But times that now by having like 400 of those, oh my God, just banking that on its own, because people just want to look at cool cards, right? And like, I think that's the other thing too, is that sometimes it's just cool to share stuff out.
Yeah. And we've seen it. We've seen it in the Facebook groups. Things go viral because of those groups that have 52,000 people in them taking that one piece card and pushing it out. And that's the power of the numbers. We talk about numbers in eBay and we talk about numbers in social, but when you amplify a story within a Facebook group of 52,000 people, it brings a whole new audience to that card.
I had a card go viral. This card right here went viral in a Facebook group.
Love that.
So it's not for sale. It's my Stephanie Vauquer card. Pulled it randomly out of a Topps Now box redemption. Awesome. It got like 10,000 or 15,000 views in a Facebook group.
Yeah. That's the targeted opportunity, right? And it's so easily done now. And all you need to do is strategically put it down in that group, and all of a sudden it just leads fire. And
I just pulled this. It looks beautiful, guys. What's everybody thinking about it? It's not for sale. They're like, how much you want for it? Like, I don't want to sell it. I'm sorry. But the point is that like people are like, dude, sick pull, awesome pull, and like it wasn't even like a sales group. It was just I just wanted to share something cool out there. But like that's what I think is so interesting, right? About this, because again, I'm thinking of your business in a way that could benefit me on a sales point, and then I'm thinking about it just on social media alone. I mean, making me a video of that card, and I would pay for that. You know, an awesome dynamic thing. You put it on your social media, you put it in obviously my Instagram group, or my Instagram pages and stuff like that. And I get to share it out. And then when I do want to sell it, I now have a cool video that I could use at some point to sell it.
Yeah.
Or I could just be like, cool, let's just share this video out of this awesome card and honor the card. Because there's certain cards that are just sick to honor, right? I mean, I'm sure you have personal cards, right? That you just want to do right by them that are not for sale, right?
Yep. Yeah, I definitely do. And And video games, right? Same idea. I've collected standees, McDonald's standee as an example, and those kind of things you're fond of, but you'd love to write a story about them too and tell people more about it. And that's the behind the lane. That is a storytelling arm of this company that is going to change and amplify the way cards and games and comic books are sold.
The way I feel, and I'm sure you feel it the way, and I think we already spoke about it, is that it also humanifies the card, right? It makes it's a collectible, but it makes it like almost like its own character. It's its own thing, and it takes it away from being just something worth money to also being, hey, this is like a prized possession and it's a heirloom, right? And it adds some humanistic characters to it, right? Like, you know, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you have something listed, somebody made you an offer, and then you said, I can't sell this.
Yeah, I think we all have, right? That's the sort of fun of it, that the attachment level that you have as a collector and a seller.
But I digress. And then obviously you just got a bunch of other stuff going on with this. And then I'm excited. Auctions. Obviously, I think you're going to be eventually doing boxes. I think because there are some rare boxes out there. But that's a whole different ball game too. That's a monster ball game. When you're dealing with high end card boxes, you all know the Pokemon story, right?
Yep, you bet. Yeah, there's a lot of trials and tribulations that have gone on in the industry. That again, we sat back. We've developed this brand and this app. It took us about a year to build from scratch. You're not going to Shopify and building an engine. You're doing it on your own. And through that own year of hard work, we listened and we learned and we've followed and understood the trends and things that did work and didn't work. And I think, again, we're trying to do everything better. So whether it's a company that goes live and does that sort of QVC model, we're going to do it a little bit better. We're going to curate it. And we're going to make it a little bit more interesting and a little bit less chaotic. So we're just, again, sitting back. We don't need to be the first to do everything. We just need to be the person who does it a little bit better.
Fair enough. In which that I don't. I like when people try to build better mousetraps. My objective is not to build a new wheel. It's to build a better, more efficient wheel. It's with some interesting adjustments, right? That it's, you can make certain moves, and for instance, getting into WNBA cards was a good move for me because it wound up really helping my business and boosting up sales at the right time. Because Caitlin Fever is very useful. But the point is that ultimately, though, I'm just trying to build a more efficient mousetrap. But I digress. I think we hit all that, but I have other questions I want to ask you about cards because obviously there's a lot of stuff going on in the industry. We spoke about pricing. We spoke about also just availability. I don't know how you feel, but I feel like the industry's at a weird point right now because you have, I feel, real issues of people challenging grading. I think there's real concerns about PSA buying Beckett. I think there's real concerns about pricing. I think there's also real concerns, and I'll mention Logan Paul. I don't think that situation helps. I don't, because I think when you have hyperbole of a $16 million card in the market, I do think this stuff is worth money. I think everybody agrees on that. I don't know if that was a $16 million card, a FOMO card missing out, or if there's something else in the market with Pokemon, because Asia is a really big market that really isn't, I feel, spoken about on a global level, where, in the United States, I don't know how many people are really looking and saying, well, China, Japan, Korea, South Korea are all into really Pokemon heavily. And so I feel that there's a lot of stuff going on in this market that is FOMO, fear, and also a lot of unpredictability. And I don't know if we're at a collapse or we're at such an ascension, because in the United States, with debasement of currency, there are real concerns about moving to things like gold, collectibles, and cards are really the new gold, also kind of in the Bitcoin sector, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, I'll touch on a couple of points that you mentioned. One
Sorry,
is,
I thought at you.
I'll kind of hit a few of them and then we'll morph into others. But I think when you look at CNBC and Shark Tank and Mr. Wonderful and how he's started to come into this world in a big way, that's kind of falls in the Logan Paul area a little bit. Is it really good for the industry? Are you going to say something? You want to say something on that or no? No.
I love Mr. Wonderful, but it was so cringy at the Oscars. The Grammys. It was just cringy. It just made me like, I wanted to do that. Sorry. Continue.
Exactly. So things like that, I think, are kind of bubbling up. You talked a little bit about PSA buying Beckett, but they also bought SGC as well. So now they've got 3 of the players, leaving sort of that, that lone CGC side on its own. Is that good for the industry to have 3 of the major players all kind of owning each other? I don't know. I don't really think so. I think the way I look at Collectible Lane is the more people that come in, the more generalized the pricing is going to get, right? You're going to start to move numbers a little bit because this person does under, this person might go over your trading card, and then all of a sudden it levels out. And I think seeing PSA buy SGC and Beckett, it really makes you scratch your head a little bit because, one, they're selling cards, and they're also now gobbling up everybody who authenticates it, and there's no real universal authentication process yet. There's not one billboard that you can go to and say, okay, this is exactly what a 10 means, and this is what a 9 means. And I think without having that and then losing the competition within grading, it starts to make it a little scary for most people. And I'm anxious to see. SGC, does okay. They get it turned around relatively quickly, and there's opportunities, but we'll see how that kind of rolls itself out. But that's a major concern for me. So I know you hit on that.
Yeah. I mean, look, I buy a lot of stuff off of PSA. I mean, in the last year, I built out a PSA vault of almost 400 cards straight off of eBay PSA vault and just went balls to the wall. Probably spent a little more money than I should have on it, but some of that stuff is appreciated nicely, and they've sent me seriously good offers to buy back cards. Yep. Some of the cards that they've offered me 3 times what I paid for. But I'm not really interested in selling. I think I can do better myself. And honestly, I want to.
And I'll stop you there for a second. Do you think there's a conflict of interest because they're grading that specific card and offering up an offer to you?
That's a good question. I bought a card. So the card it's a One Piece Luffy 25th anniversary card for $40. Bought it in an off season before One Piece became this major mega giant. Bought it at a low point. Bought the card dirt cheap, right? So now they're offering me almost like $160 for it when I bought it for $40. That's really high.
Yeah.
For them. What happens, what they do a lot is that I'll buy a card for $38 and they'll offer me $40. I think there's a conflict on that. But I think on that One Piece card, they're like, fuck. On a bid, we undersold this thing and it didn't sell the way we wanted to. We want the card back because just recently another one just sold for $200 on PSA's eBay store. So they are come to the conclusion that they can buy it from me for $160 or $140, right? And then make a quick $60 and flip it. And they feel very comfortable that they could flip it for $220. But I do think that in some aspects there is a conflict, and we've seen it, right? I mean, not to badmouth them, but we've seen cards get resubmissioned out and get 10s. We've seen cards go from 8s to 9s. Sure. But also, I mean, they say it's a third party. I don't know if it's a third party. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not going to start speculating, but I do think that there is some type of conflict of interest. Sure. And until it is foiled out and there's depositions to actually see if there is, and I think that's coming. I think it's coming. I think somebody's going to bring a massive lawsuit and they're going to find a judge that's going to allow a deposition to occur in this. And we're going to find out exactly what happens, whether it's this year, next year, or 3 years from now. I think it's coming. And I think that I mean, the political, I'll put it this way, right? Not to get too political on the show. I think under the current administration, that would not go through. I think the Democratic president gets in office. I think that lawsuit is more prevalent to happen.
Yeah, very much so. I agree with you on that.
Just consumer protections, and it's not political at all. What I said, and I don't want to get into a political discussion, but I definitely think that a Democratic Justice Department from the Democratic Party is more inclined to look into PSA's monopoly than the Trump administration is. But the Trump administration is more interested in fraudulent gambling, which is fascinating. I'm surprised they're even interested in that. Oh, but not the point. But I do think there is some conflict of interest, because if you're the grader and you want to buy my card back, I mean, but I digress.
Yeah, that's a whole another hour of conversation, but there is something to be said about it. So, hey, PSA is the powerhouse in the industry right now from an authentication perspective. They're doing some things really well. They've got a great name in some cases as well. So we'll see how it shakes out, but it is interesting to see them gobble up the competition and really only leave one major player still in the field.
And the other thing about PSA is that they do all the baseball stuff. I mean, people forget that I mean, I'm in my dad's office doing this, and he has all these PSA baseballs, right? So like that's the thing, is that, you know, there's a position to say that they're the major authenticator. I mean, they're the best. I mean, it's JSA, which is owned by CGC. So it's in JSA is a good authenticator. I would put JSA and PSA. So JSA is a step below PSA, but if you have a JSA, you know, graded, you know, authenticated signature, it stands up nicely in the industry.
I would agree with that on JSA for sure.
But I mean, I just bought Page's book that was JSA'd. But
yeah, I worked with them quite often when they were an independent, and they never let me down. I thought their professionalism was good. So the fact that they got bought was great too.
So we have competition on autograph authentication, but that's how I feel about that. But again, PSA, every time I have an issue with them, they take care of it. You know, same thing with CGC with comic books. They always take care of it. But I have actually never sent a card into PSA. I bought a bunch, but I've never done that. I've never done it. Because
card into any of the houses or no?
Not into any of them. I bought a bunch.
Interesting.
Because I'm new into the grading space. I'm about 14 months in.
That's a whole nother conversation too. The wait time and, you know, expecting it to come back sooner than later. But you haven't seen that yet.
I've been in the card game for about 15 years, right? But I'm in the grading game for 14 months. Yeah. So I don't know much about grading. I have all this stuff, but right now I'm in between jobs, and so my money's tighter. So I made a decision not to get into spend a lot of money, have a PSA membership, because it's just it would cause more problems for me in my business versus to go get stuff graded sent in when you don't have the funds to do it.
Yeah, it's an expensive business for a lack of a guarantee, right? I mean, you don't know you're not getting a 6 versus a 7 versus a 10 in many cases.
I have all this autograph stuff. I have all this relic stuff that's like limited 1 of 5s. All that stuff has to get graded, right? Like that Stephanie Vauquer card has to get graded.
Yeah,
that should be sending in. But I don't. And if it comes back as an 8 or a 9 or a 10, it doesn't matter because it's a 1 of 5. So it's encasing it, authenticating it, and then having it become an objective grade versus a subjective grade. But my issue is that I just don't have the money to do it. It's a capital issue at the moment. Versus, and it would fuck up my business versus me going to buy 25 cards, sell them, make $300, and then just run my eBay business this way until I'm on better footing. But that's a whole different conversation about business for a whole different day. But again, I don't have a problem with grading. I just don't have the money to do it. So that, like, at the moment, like,
I think your approach is not a bad approach, right? Get the card that's graded already. Know that fee is already baked in, and enjoy the card. And I think that works for a lot of people. I don't think it's for everybody to send cards away. I think it's a gamble to send it in the mail or FedEx. I think it's a gamble that you're putting out a lot of money that you really don't really know until you get them back. And but yeah, I think both approaches work. But
I might just, like with the Stephanie Vauquer card with some rare John Cena cards I have, I might just go to a card shop and have them do it for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll pay an extra $100 for that service, but it'll save me so much fucking hassle.
Yeah. It's surprisingly, Andrew, it's not a hard process, just so you know. It's just time.
I don't want the membership fee. I don't want to have to do it. I want them to fill out the paperwork.
Yep.
It'll help me in the long run just to pay an extra $50, $100 for it. They'll do the right value for it. if I go to a card shop and they'll take care of all the problems, they'll pack it up correctly for me. They'll make sure it's properly done so it gets the most protection. This way, I don't have to torture the shit out of myself.
And we're partners with CGC and PSA to do that exact same thing too when it makes sense.
So like that, but that's how I feel about the whole PSA thing. But it's interesting that you asked me that, because that's my opinion on the issue. Is that sure as hell, I don't want to say it's always a conflict, but it can be without a doubt. But I mean, I don't know any other point you want to talk about or touch on.
Great. Again, I love getting in the opportunity to talk to your community. This is what it's all about, and I think you're humanizing who I am and giving the opportunity that if there is a community member that's interested in working with Collectible Lane to write me, because
let me ask this, right? So obviously, I mean, right now, I think obviously the website is live, and I don't know if there's parameters on, what you're exactly looking for, who could sign up for it, because there's people who just want to buy the card and don't want to sell anything. They just want to buy this stuff. And I think that's relatively open probably to everybody, right? If you're a buyer and you're looking for $1,500 to $2,000 or $3,000 cards, or you're looking for that Buffalo Bill card, for instance, you want that buyer. And I don't think, there's any parameter. As long as you have the money to buy the card, have at it, right? But I don't know what you're looking for on the selling side, because those are two different customers that you service, right?
Yeah, agreed. What our numbers are seeing, you always see a lot more buyers than you do sellers. So the way we've curated a lot of the great sellers so far on the site is, do you have something with a story behind it? And if you do, let's talk. And let's find a way to get it onto the site. And that's how we've been testing a lot of the products. And the sellers have liked it because they've moved product because of what we've been able to do to amplify what that Buffalo Bills card is, why it's $17,000, and tell the story behind it, which is amazing for a price of a card. But nonetheless, that's who we've been attracting, and mainly it's because of that nature of the business of what we're doing. So to answer your question, we're willing to have everybody, come to Collectible Lane and enjoy it, because we've siloed it, we've made it really all about your passion and your interest, and we've cleaned it. We've gotten rid of the clutter. So come enjoy it, and let me know if there's questions. We'll send out these T-shirts. A lot of people on socials, if you haven't followed on Instagram, whoever's watching this, it's been a lot of fun to see people get the T-shirt and then put it on their game room or put it in their hat, wherever it is, wear it, unravel it, unbox it. And those are the kind of things that make me smile at the end of the day, because people are taking pride in the brand, right? Isn't that what it's all about? Just having fun with the brand. And if you can have fun with a T-shirt, you certainly can have fun with a story behind a great item, and that's what it's all about at Collectible Lane.
That's great. And then obviously I got a few more questions that are not related to your business. So obviously WrestleMania is going on. So, I don't know who you're taking, Randy Orton or Cody. I don't know who you're taking.
Randy Orton, straight up. Yeah, there's something about him. He's old school. So Cody too, but there's something about him. He was a mainstay when I was there. I had some pretty good years, and he was a showman, right? I just love his showman nature. And so I'm rooting for him. You asked, I answered.
And then obviously I don't know what's going to happen with Liv Morgan and Stephanie Beaucaire, but that's going to be interesting in that regard.
Yeah, it's WrestleMania is always full of surprises, so you just never know what's going to happen, and it's the biggest show on earth, so it's pretty exciting, and it'll be on a pretty amazing channel this year.
And then obviously CM Punk, Roman Reigns. That's going to be something else. And I don't know who you got on that one.
CM Punk, right? Every time we stepped into Chicago, we used to hear the cheers and we used to hear the rooting for him when he wasn't with us. And now that he's back, boy, it just brings back an awesome memory of who he was and what he did for the industry. So I'm all about CM Punk.
Fair enough. And then obviously it's going to be a fun show. I'm excited. I'm going to be getting hammered with all my friends, but that's what we do.
Is it Royal Rumble or is it WrestleMania that's the top show for you?
You know what it is? It's Royal Rumble. It's Royal Rumble, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah, I knew it.
It's 60 entrances.
Yeah.
And those are the best things ever in wrestling. and there's the surprise ones for the most part. Obviously, this year where it was a challenge for WWE with surprise entrances, but when it's stateside or it's Canada or you know, in countries that are easier to navigate, for lack of a better word here, you have surprises. You never know who's going to show up at the Royal Rumble at number 27, number 16, local hometown hero, like when Booker T came into the ring in Texas, when they did it in Texas, that was fun. So there's a lot of stuff. So Royal Rumble for me is always a better show, but not because of the matches and not because it's Mania, but because it's those 60 entrances now. It's 30 entrances back in the day, and now it's 60 because of the women, and that's the best part of wrestling. That's the best part.
I kind of knew you were going to go that route, and that's why I threw it out there. But Royal Rumble is by far the best of the best. It's the crown jewel in my mind, and people gamble on it. People want to know what number is 1, what number is 15, who's coming out, who's not coming out, who are you taking? It's a survivor pool of the best and the most iconic moments because of, you said it. Is it the hometown hero? Is it the heel? Is it the baby face? We don't know. And that's what makes it so exciting.
Is Michelle McCool going to enter the ring? She was in the crowd and then she jumped into the ring. That was fun. Are we getting like a surprise return? I mean, John Cena's memorable number 30 return was fun. Yes. You know, other people returning. Is all of a sudden Seth Rollins coming back? I mean, but SummerSlam was a lot of fun too. When
it's the bell ring and then the entry song, and that's kind of what makes everybody erupt, and it's what it's all about.
And then obviously that's that. And then I got one more question because I'm debating. So I have this still sealed, and I have 2 of these left, and they're not moving on my eBay store. So should I crack it and open and see what I pull here? Or conversely, should I crack this, which is also not moving on my eBay store? Or which should I crack first? And here's the trick question: is that the third one is coming tomorrow? It's a Disney Neon. So I'm cracking the Disney Neons. So the question is that, do I crack the Disney Neons first, mega boxes, and then the hobby boxes coming like a week later, which should be a lot of fun. But I'm keeping those. Those are not listed. But I punt my WWE mega boxes, the last 2 I have left. So I crack both of them open for the hell of it and say, what the hell? Because they're not moving on eBay and they're tough to move. Do I punt the Fantastic Four completely? Or do I open up all of it at various times? And then
I think the question comes back, is it going to be during the time that your live audience is going to be watching? Are you going to break it now? Are you going to break it another time that the audience is watching? Because if that's the case, bring it. Let's do it.
What right now? Right now we're going to break cards?
Right now, no, it's all good. But I think the opportunity to break it, why not? If it's not moving, bring it to life. Get it out of the cellophane. Make it real. Let's see what you got.
I'll break it right now, the WWE stuff live. I'll do it because it'll be fun.
I'm all for it. Why not? Right? It makes sense. Let's see what you got there.
Let's see. As soon as I figure out how to open this up. The WWE stuff, I don't feel like cracking my Fantastic Four. No, I'm not in a Fantastic Four mood right now.
For the WWE, we're minutes away from WrestleMania. You've got me on this show. We've talked WWE throughout the entire show. It's time for you to break the WWE pack. I'm
cracking a WWE thing. Everybody can see what I crack here. Hopefully everybody's going to watch it or at least see it, or I'll clip it out and post it out. So this is the mega box, everybody. This is what it looks like. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Supposedly, you might be able to tell if there's patches in here, but I can't tell for shit. So this is card pack 1. I don't know what's in here, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
And, hopefully, we're gonna pull something good here. So let's see. So I got her right here.
Ooh.
I got Raquel Rodriguez base right there. I think that's a base. I got Tyson DuPont. I think that's how we say it. You can never go wrong with Stone Cold Steve Austin, right?
No, that's a great one. Yep.
We got Angela Dawkins for you. We got this X Fractor right here. So that's those right there of her. We got him right here, which is Hulk Hogan. Never go wrong with Hulk Hogan, right?
Yep, legend.
And then we got Era of Excellence Kane, number 1. Or not number 1, but insert from the 90s Kane.
Huh.
So we got that right there. So that's pack one. Let's see what we pull here. It'd be really cool if we pull like some sweet.
Before you crack it, is there one person you're looking for?
I am right now looking for something like a Becky Lynch is always good.
Becky Lynch is good, yeah.
Ray Fenix.
Nice.
Right there.
Yeah.
Or Maxine Dupree or Trish Stratus is always fun.
Trish Stratus is a good one.
We got a refractor right here.
Look at that.
So we got a parallel right here of, Saquon Sugars.
Ooh, all right.
So that's good. So a 150, no complaints there. And then let's see what we got here. So we got right now, we got Wesley, X-Fractor, which are always fun. We got this one right here. And then we got one of these cool, which is a focus reel of Jordan Grace, and I love Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace is awesome.
I remember on the Indies, too, with Orange Cassidy, of all people.
Yep. Yeah, Jordan Grace is great.
She's funny, too. She's interesting. So obviously we got this right here. So we got Gunther, Ring General. Oh, sweet. New Jack.
Look at that.
I didn't even know fucking New Jack was in this set. That's insane. So New Jack's kid is Washi Heights, who is a drag queen.
Yeah, didn't know.
Drag queen wrestler, and I saw Washi Heights. So funny, right? It's funny how people like. It's so interesting, right? What people do and what they know. Oh, this is good. Yeah. Otis, right there.
Yeah.
Love Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
So X-Fractor, some X-Fractors. And then we got this right here, which is some Jey Uso.
Can't go wrong with Uso.
What did you say?
I said the Usos are good.
Oh, I love the Usos.
Yeah. I did a fun champs deal with the Usos where they got some free sneakers out of it. It was pretty good.
What happened? What's the story?
I did a couple cool deals with Champs Sporting Goods, and we did one with the Usos, and they got a nice pair of Nikes out of the whole program, so it was kind of cool.
We got this right here, Typhoon. Wow, that's old school. Can't go wrong with Bret Hitman Hart.
Oh, good old legend.
Trick Williams is decent. We got JC Jane, who just lost her title. That's okay.
Yep.
More X-Fractors right here of Hank Walker.
So what are we rating this so far? Are we happy? We're kind of in the middle?
I'm kind of in the middle. Mick Foley.
Yeah, Mick Foley's good.
We got Javon Evans.
Okay.
I'm in the middle on this spot.
We're 3 packs in, right? That's 3.
We're 4. This is 5.
Oh, that's 5. Oh, wow.
Yeah, they go fast.
We're not messing around on this.
No, we are not messing around. So we got Ethan Page.
Okay.
Ethan Page is great. I remember him in Impact on the Indies, Damian Priest. We got Montez Ford. Love Tori Wilson.
Yeah, that's a great card.
Oh, I love Tori Wilson with her dog, too. Oh, I love Tori Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh, Tori Wilson is as good as Creed. Tori Wilson dated A-Rod, which is insane.
Know that?
Who knew that, right? Like, this is cool. Lola Vice.
Yeah. Good amount of female cards in there. That's great. Yeah. I mean,
Blake Monroe. She's good. China. Not China. China. I want to make that crystal clear here.
Yes.
Yeah. And it is the last pack. So
all right, let's see if this is the last one. Brings us some something good.
Hopefully. Like these boxes are spotty. But I'm not complaining, right? So we got Zoe Starks. We got Dexter Loomis.
Okay.
Can't go wrong with Booker T.
No, another Booker T. That's a great one.
We got Ron Killings.
Don't know him.
They're not R-Truth, Ron Killings.
Oh, yeah, not the R-Truth.
We got Ariana Grace here in the last one.
Yeah.
We got, obviously, China, X-Fractor.
Yep.
Can't go wrong with Nikki Bella.
Nah, Bella's are always great. Great acts.
And then we got Bronson Reed. who is this Focus Wheel stuff. So again, it's a solid box. I wouldn't say it's a great box. It's a solid box. But I'm not complaining because they're not really moving at this price point. And so, I mean, you're guaranteed like 10 X Fractors and a parallel in there. And, you know, some of the stuff I want. So obviously, I'm looking for Becky Lynch's. I'm looking for Liv Morgan's. I'm looking for any autos really. But ultimately, you know, the stuff that I'm looking for, it's a complicated product this year because some people are killing it in the mega boxes and then others are not. And I am 4 mega boxes in, and I would say they're average. Yeah. But that's the way it works, right?
And that's for your community, right? Let's open them up. Let's see what could possibly be in there, and the good and the bad. And I think that's, you know, I'm excited that you did it with me on this call.
I took a risk, and I'll probably crack open the other one tomorrow night. Probably on my WrestleMania stream, I'll crack open that one and watch it. There's gonna be 10 autos in there. Just watch.
No doubt. Well, if there are, I want a text and let me know about it. I want to see it posted in the socials.
Oh, I'm gonna do it live. I'm on my WrestleMania stream tomorrow night. It's gonna be fun. Because I might as well, right? But I figured we would crack it open because this is the point of cards, right? This is what we should be doing in this community within reason. There's certain things you should never crack open. So, like, what is it? A Jordan Fleer set?
Yep.
Like, what is it? 92 or 93?
Yeah, I mean you just don't know, right? But when the opportunity exists. But I do agree with you. I think it's great to open up these boxes and give the community a chance. And what they see here might give them the opportunity and the thought to go buy it or not and hold back and go buy that one card that they really wanted out of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I have no problem. And I've bought cards and I'm happy to buy cards. I just bought, you know, John Cena saying, "Hey, Colt Cabana."
That's awesome.
I bought that in a PSA 9 too, which is crazy.
And on that point, are you more PSA 10 or PSA 9 or, you know, just your card collector?
You know what it is? It depends on what it is, right? It also depends on what. So I actually think that PSA 9s, this is going to sound crazy. I think there's more money to be made in a PSA 9 than a PSA 10.
Well, it's more reachable, right? It's more, most people can't get that 10. That's the problem.
I think there's an ability to make more money because I think there's more appreciation.
Yep. Agreed.
So I think that, for instance, if I buy a PSA 9 for $40, I think the PSA 9 at some point, depending on what it is, could rise to $70. So when I buy $30, the PSA 10 might cost me $100 and it might go up to $200, but maybe I can't spend $100 on it. So, you know, that's the whole theory behind it is that, but like I bought PSA 9s. So, but like, then again, I've also bought a PSA 10 for $40 and now PSA wants to buy, they're valuing the card at like $200.
Yeah.
So, but it's also what you could get it for. I mean, I just bought like a 76ers card of a Kelly Oubre Jr. for $9 in a PSA 9. So like, that's the other thing too, is that I bought a card where it was $25 and to grade a card like that is $20.
Yeah. Yeah. So that strategy I do all the time. I'll pick it up for less than it would cost for the grade and just be happy with it.
And then so when I unload it, I mean, you know, if I choose to unload it, so like I actually want to test the theory and I'm debating if I should do it. You should take $2,000 and the rule is that you can only buy cards under $20 in PSAs.
Yeah.
And then you buy in the first year everything, and then you look at it every year and you document its growth or decline, and then you would write the book on it.
Yep.
After 5 years, what it would look like. And I'm willing to bet that you do better with that strategy and you'd be up if you sold the whole catalog out than if you just let it appreciate for 5 years.
Yeah, I bet you will be. Agreed.
Versus all these kids who are flipping at card shows.
Yep.
All these kids are flipping at card shows, and I'm like, God damn it, guys! You're flipping like $7,000 and you're 9. What the fuck? Like it scares the shit out of me. Like
I know. I've witnessed it that a lot of brick and mortar. I just watch these kids come in and they've got their briefcase of those PSAs or graded cards and they're flipping them and negotiating. It's great to see.
It's great to see, but it scares me, and I'm like, what the hell? How did you get here? Like,
Definitely.
you're 9 and 11. Like, you should not be negotiating a $5,000 deal when you're 11 years old. I'm sorry. Like, it blows my mind.
Dead face, right? They mean business. They're not messing around at all on that.
I find it fascinating, but I'm happy with the box. I'm not overjoyed with the box, but I'm happy with it. But it could have been better. Is the point?
Yeah, and
you win some, you lose some.
What we just did was WWE brings people together. So we just were able to bring a community together around the unboxing of the cards. So I thank you for that. Very tiny.
Well, I'm happy to do it. I figured we were going to crack open. I didn't want to open up my Fantastic Four. I am going to crack open my Neons when they come because I'm excited for that set. That set, awesome. I'm going to be disappointed if that set sucks. Yeah, like, I'm going to be genuinely upset.
Well, I'm tuning in on that one. I want to see it. So make sure you promote that one.
I'm going to be posting it like crazy because I'm going to be posting all this stuff up, but I might not get to it till Monday because WrestleMania week is taking up time.
Crazy.
Versing, which is understandable because I'm not going to be functioning on Saturday. I mean, I got the Knicks versus the Hawks at 1:00, and then I got WrestleMania at night with my friends, and I'm probably going to be hammered on Sunday, and I got to do the whole thing again, but I won't be drinking on Sunday, so I'm probably not going to. And somewhere in between all that is going to be a few other basketball games, so I'm probably not going to be functioning that week till Monday. So if anybody hits me up, you're probably not going to get the best of me on probably from Friday to about Monday around 4:00. You're probably not going to get the best of me. So just don't bother me, everybody, on those days. But I digress. I'm happy that we unboxed it. I figured you'd be down for it.
Thank you so much for involving me in that. And timely. I love it.
And I figured I'd give you a chance to promote yourself so if people bother you, hit you up, get involved in what you're doing, social media, check out what they want. If they want to sell, buy, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, sign up on Collectible Lane. We have a great feedback area. Let us know your feedback. We're just in phase 1, so keep us abreast of what you think we should do, what we should have. If there's a better searchable functionality, let us know about that. What do you want? Tell us. And what we're going to do is go out and build it. And from a following standpoint, follow us on Collectible Lane. The content is rich. The content is consistent. We're always posting something. You're going to learn something from Collectible Lane, and I think that's what it's all about, right? It's not static content. It's really cool videos. We're always looking for a good story. So if you have a collectible and you want us to tell that story, we'll do it. Just tip us off and tell us what you got, because I'm always looking for inquiries and opportunities for stories that I didn't even know about. So we'll do the due diligence. We'll do the work. We'll produce it, put a good quality together, and you guys just approach us with what's going on, with what Collectible makes you guys happy. And without, other than that, Andrew, I just want to thank you. This is a cool forum. We did some fun stuff. We hit on every topic possible, and let's do it again, please. I mean, don't not invite me back. Get me back on here. We'll do it every year.
Absolutely. And then obviously, always happy to do things. Always happy to interview people. I like speaking to people. I like learning stuff. And I like becoming smarter. Hopefully everybody else enjoys this, and hopefully everybody else wants to become smarter. That's actually not true. I've been saying it for a while, is that I cannot promise you will get smarter by watching me. I can only ensure that you will be entertained.
Yeah.
So that's everything that I got going on. And then obviously it's my show, so I'm going to promote myself. I am Pop Anime Comics on Twitter, but I am currently in suspension, and I finally get my account back. It was not a political suspension. It's because I criticized Carlos Mendoza on his way that he coached the Mets the last 10 games, and I thought I was justified. Twitter disagreed. So we now know where their allegiance stands.
Wow.
Clearly. But all jokes aside, I am working that. But I have a new Twitter called, his name is King9, and I also criticize the Mets on that account heavily, and aggressively. But I'm watching my tone a little bit more there. So you can follow me there. Also, though, on Instagram, Pop Anime Comics, Facebook, Pop Anime Comics, YouTube, Pop Anime Comics for all my interview stuff that I do. I do have a TikTok, Pop Anime Comics. A lot of social medias on there. Getting back to doing that stuff. YouTube, subscribe if I didn't already mention it. Really cool there. And then I run an eBay store, and this is my eBay store. Look for comics and collectibles. Come shop with us on eBay. And I sell a lot of cool stuff like this card, limited 25 Angel Reese. I have stuff like this in my store up there. I did sell stuff like this, which was the one-on-one Diana Taurasi retirement card, auto, super cool card for those who wanted it. And then I sell stuff like this in my store as well. And I sell some Bad Girl comics like this and this in my store, and a variety of other stuff. So you name it, I sell it. I sell everything from $3 cards all the way up to $1,500 plus cards. So if you're looking for stuff, and some of those cards might be on Rob's platform soon enough, depending on where I'm at on Monday, because I'm preoccupied for the next like 6 days. It's WrestleMania season, guys. A lot of cool stuff's coming. And potentially some of these also might wind up on eBay. So if you are looking for stuff, and I've been saying it for a long time, whether it's comics or collectibles, first off, go on eBay, see if it's there. If it's there, make me an offer. Happy to sell it to you. If it's not there, shoot me a message, because I may have it and it's just not listed. And if I have it, I'm happy to list it. If I don't have it, I know a lot of people in the space, and I'm always happy to direct people to where you could find it, because I get that searching for things sucks. I get it. It's hard to find stuff. And so I'm happy to direct you to the right people. And I've done it for plenty of people. And in fact, I had a client about 2 weeks ago, didn't even know something existed. And I actually got him the item he didn't even know existed. And he wound up spending about $400 for it at a shop in Florida. And I'm in Connecticut. Because I knew the right person. I said, you need this book over here. And then I connected the people together through eBay, which may or may not be eBay's favorite thing that I did, but I don't really care. But I digress. And then the other thing I do that people should check out is I do big boy card collecting. I post a lot of fun images, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of drops up there. And I have a good time there. And I'm having a really good time. And then I run a YouTube show on big boy card collecting on YouTube, where I do breaks, do a lot of that stuff, do a lot of card education. And I like to share what I do. So when I crack stuff like this, usually it's on that channel for you. And again, it's just to open up stuff, share stuff, talk about it. And then I've also explained parallels and a variety of other cool stuff to help the community with tops. So those videos are out there, and you can go check that out on Big Boy Card Collecting on YouTube. And again, I'm doing it because I want to, and I can, and that's the whole thing I do. So basically, you type in Pop Anime Comics or Big Boy Card Collecting, you'll find me. And if you don't find me, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But that's everything I got going on. So on that note, I'm going to give you the final word.
Yeah. Again, thank you, Andrew, for putting me on this platform. If any of your viewers download our app in the iOS store or the Google Play Store, drop me a note. Let me know you saw us on Andrew's podcast and in this stream, and I'm happy to do something special for you. So again, I'm just excited to be here, tell my story, and meet more community members. So thanks again for the platform.
Anytime. And I don't think I could have said that any better myself, and that is a wrap.